What's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in. This is the Promo Party, CHH Promo Party, and my name is Nichols Hawkeye. I have a very special guest in the building, so to speak. The artist that you just heard playing, JOliver, is with us right now. Check him out. There he is in the
How's it
flesh.
how's it going, everybody? How's it going? It's great to be here.
Yeah. So tell us about this song. What was the journey that you took on this song?
So, starting back to the beginning, honestly, I started having a passion for music in high school, and but like I said, it was more like a secular type of music. Like I was kind of chasing the typical hip hop dream of going after the fame and fortune and the money and all that type of stuff was kind of like the root motive in it. And honestly, it led me to no real sense of fulfillment in a way. But anyway, it just kind of like it kind of threw me off in terms of like where I wanted my life to go, and so I pulled myself out of it, and I got busy in the work life. I'm 27 now, and so I just really got busy, distracted with other things, working, and then in March of 2021, I got saved and changed my whole perspective on things, and still didn't get back into music until I got back from the army actually in May of this year. I went to basic training and I came back, and God really put it on my heart to get back into music, but not necessarily for myself, but Him this time, and
Right.
pushing His message and pushing the gospel through stuff that's catchy and things that that kids will listen to, because at the end of the day, we're the next generation is somewhat our responsibility in terms of guiding. And so um, I came back and got a home studio together and started, you know, looking up some instrumentals so I could kind of get back into the flow of things. And it was almost seamless for me to come back and really do what I needed to do I mean, the flow was easier, and I felt like what I was saying was true to myself. And I think that's really important, especially when you're rapping. It's like there's so many people out there that just don't necessarily talk about what they are, and it's like you're living a double life in a sense. And so for me to like get on the mic and actually do what I'm saying I'm doing is it's a whole nother passion is there, I feel like. And it was so much easier to deliver the lyrics, and I wrote the track in like 20 minutes, and it was very seamless. And like I said, God really had His hand in it, and it was so easy for me to just sit there and like rap about something that was true to me for once in my life. And then like I said, I took it to my friend, and he really worked his magic on it. His name's John. He uh, really got down the production side of it as in the vision I was trying to capture. And
Is
so
he the
after
one
all
that
that,
made the beat?
he's not the one who made the beat. So I actually leased the beat online, um, and yeah, and just kind of like I tagged Alias for the hook, and yeah, that's one thing. I'll be honest with you. That's kind of like something that I can't. That's not in my talent book. That's a unique skill. Producing is a unique skill, and I just think in my perspective, there's people out there that can do it better. So I let them do it, and then we all bring our strengths to the song and make it flourish. And I feel like it turns out pretty well. And so but yeah,
Right.
no, I didn't produce it myself. But I do like being in the mixing process and being there to be able to guide whoever is doing it, so I can get that true vision in the song. Because I think it's important. You have a certain way you wanting it to like how you want it to hear, and if you're not expressing that during the whole process, sometimes you'll come out with a product that you're not happy with. And so, and plus, like I was using God's guidance in that moment and trying to really like, and I think it really just came out better than I ever could have expected. It's all Him. I
Cool.
mean, really, it's all Him. So
Yeah, no, it's a great song. I think you did a really good job. Do you have anything else in the future? Like, what are you working on now?
right now, I'm working on a couple of collaborations in the bag. I'm just trying to really still get my feet wet. I feel like I haven't done like an original song that's all the way through by myself since 2019, and so just trying to really identify where I'm at now, where as opposed to like where I was back then. I think those are two
Hmm.
different people. And so I'm still waiting on God to deliver that. I feel like for myself, like for a self like self title, you know, or like a self album or something to that effect. I don't really know if I'm going full album yet, but I may do a couple singles and see what I can do in terms of like an EP. I feel like that's probably my next direction, and then once I can kind of nail down where he wants me to go, then I'll move into something bigger. But I'm just trying to really get back into it, and it's crazy how it accelerated so fast because I started working on the song earlier in June, and I had it done by the end of the month, and so like it was a very fast process. But I'm really excited about how it turned out. So, uh,
Nice.
but yeah,
So,
everybody, it's just it's so awesome to see people are doing it for Jesus is different, and I think that like that's just that's the most like you're not worried about views, you're not worried about likes, you're not worried about how many people have heard it, how many haven't. I mean, you are to a sense because you want people to hear the good news, right? But in terms of that aspect that you may have had before, where you may have not felt like it's validated, it doesn't matter to me anymore. I feel like it's just as many people hear it, somebody's life can change, and that's enough, you know. After
yeah,
hearing it and being like, you know, wow, he changed, and so maybe I can change too. That's enough. I mean, if you do one life, one salvation is enough.
yeah, yeah. No, I totally get that. Um, that's the difference between, at least my perception of the culture of hip hop in the secular sense is that it's about accolades and I'm this show and prove, battling and all that type of stuff. It's very um, trying to one up somebody else and all
It's
that.
almost like
But yeah,
you're, yeah,
Christian
mhm,
hip hop is more along the line of um like that stuff's cool. I mean, you're interested to see if anybody heard it per se, but it's not because typically people that do Christian hip hop are not like, oh, I'm trying to come up, I'm trying to get this dollar. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm trying to get paid, whatever. It's
yeah,
not like that.
yeah,
It's more like, who's heard this message? Am I reaching as many people with this idea that Jesus died for us and rose again and is coming back and all that stuff? Like, that's what really matters, and that's what I want to see people get. You know, and so it's a definite difference between the culture of hip hop versus the
yeah.
culture of Christian hip hop, because the theme is kind of changed. I was watching a movie that it was the Hillsong movie. It was the one that came out in the theaters like way before all the drama happened and all that. And one of the things that the dude said, he was like, "We're one of the biggest groups in the world trying to make it less about ourselves and like not want us to get the attention, but want what we're saying to get the attention." And it's kind of the same thing with the Christian hip hop perspective as well.
Yeah. I think it's really
Um,
hard. I think that's really hard too. I mean, like it's like
mhm,
you know, you've been one way for so long, especially if you don't have, I feel like a Christian background all the way up until you doing music, you know, like you've experienced the other life. And so greediness, like, you know, that money kind of and that stuff kind of creeping into your brain as like a motive is something you have to probably constantly pull yourself away from and realize that, hey, it's not about me. We need to like, especially if, you know, if financially you're not doing well or something's going wrong, you still have to recognize what the message is and what the mission is and why God put you there. But yeah, I mean, in terms of the difference, I mean, like hip hop and Christian hip hop, it's like with hip hop, it's like I got more scars than you. I've been in the streets. I've done this. I'm tougher than
mhm,
you. And Christian hip hop is like we all got scars. Like just bring them to the cross, and like you'll be forgiven, and we can do this together. That's how I look at it because you know it's that's the only way we can move forward. You know,
yeah,
unless with hip hop, it's just you're stepping over everybody just
yeah,
to you know, and it's just
crabs
it's not
crabs in a barrel.
very envious,
or a
envious
bucket or
business.
whatever.
Hmm. So yeah.
So, so when you do you do like shows and stuff? Have you been performing this work?
Mm-mm. No, I
No.
have not. I'm really very lay low, cause I don't know. Like I said, I'm still kind of finding my way. If God arise, that opportunity arises, and God wanted me to do something like that, and I felt like it was Him pulling me to it, I'd do it. But I don't force the hand on it. I think I'm okay, and I like.
So it's not like you skirt or something. You ain't
No,
skirt.
I so no, no. I actually, believe it or not, I was a news producer for like 6 years before joining the army. So, uh, but I was a
News?
news producer like local TV. Um,
Really?
I did, yeah. And so, but there's a good reason as to why I was a news producer and not a news anchor is because I didn't necessarily like my face on
What?
things or being like a I didn't. And so you know how you always see artists like I don't know, like
You were the anchor man that wasn't really into himself.
right. So like NF is a great example. Like I feel like you almost never see his face, but like
Mm,
I just am a very like I'd be totally fine if nobody. And I think it's perfect in Christian hip hop because you're not trying to make it so much about you. And so like I'm like, the only difference is that people may not be able to know where your stuff is or who you are and kind of put those
right.
two and two together. But in terms of like it being all about Jesus, like I'm totally fine with that. If nobody ever knows my name and knows about him, that's perfectly fine. But like it's so that's kind of where I come from with it. Like if somebody or like if something were to happen to where he draws me into that, and I know that it's for the right reasons and I can feel his hand on it, then most definitely. But I'm chill. Like I'm good. I'm like that person in the basement that just sends out the records and hey, if you like it, cool. If not, hey, keep moving. You know what I mean? Like it's just kind of very lay
Yeah.
low,
That's a very
underground.
popular perspective to have, especially up here in Seattle, because like there's a lot. I mean, the whole grunge scene that came out in like the 90s and stuff was real big on that as well. Like, oh, it's about the art and all that stuff. And that's true. That's true. I mean, like there's a lot of people that I know personally that won't put their face on their cover because they don't want people to be like, "Oh, that's that guy." And they don't want their persona attached to what they're doing. And I recently just started putting my face on things
Yeah,
recently um, because of that very same thing. Like I at first I didn't want to have my picture associated with what I was doing,
yeah.
but so I could see the value in both ways.
Yeah, most
Um,
definitely. I mean, for instance, like this is the like picture I use for almost everything, and like it's
yeah,
mainly because people can you can see some of it, but you don't necessarily see all of it, and so like that just kind of still remains a mystery. So you don't necessarily need to know if
yeah,
that makes sense.
it's
I just
artsy.
feel like it is, and it just kind of
Yeah,
like, and I mean, it has the light and the dark effect. I mean, I like how it came out because it just kind of like in the darkness, there's always a light type of, all kinds of things. When I look at that picture, I kind of resonate with. But yeah, it takes the focus on me because originally I've never been that way, even as a person, just because like I'm an introvert, and so like for the most part, God has really flipped that switch a little bit in terms of being an introvert because if you're too much of an introvert, you can't spread the gospel. But
that's true.
um, but like by nature I am more like my social media runs out faster. But yeah, I'd be perfectly fine, like as long as people are good and they're getting the music and it's feeding the soul, I guess. I'm cool with it. Yeah.
Nice, nice. Well, I look forward to hearing some more material from you, man, because you killed it on that one. That
Thank
was Saved and Thankful by JOliver. Is am I saying the name right? Like, do you
Yeah,
prefer JOliver or just
JOliver.
Oliver?
Yeah, JOliver's
Okay,
cool. Yeah,
JOliver.
that's where I'm
Okay,
at. I used to be Oliver, and then I thought about it for a while, and this is just how much my mind runs crazy. Is like I was like, okay, first of all, my name's Justin, right? But so it makes sense, JOliver. But then I was like, what if we use that as also like a double meaning of putting like Jesus first in my name? And then I was like, okay,
Ah,
JOliver works. So like, because it has a
that's
double,
dope.
I mean, it's double meaning. So I was like, okay, we'll just do that. Yeah.
Nice. I think by doing that little thing that we did before the show to test it out, that was the link that I gave everybody.
Oh yeah.
And and now I think I kicked everybody off that was gonna tune in because like nobody's here. I'm wondering if I should just share what we're doing, this link directly here.
Yeah, we can
Where
reshare it.
where is the link? All right, forgive me just for a moment here. I'm
I
trying
think I
to.
I think I posted the right.
All right,
Link.
forgive me just for a moment here. Hey, that's me. All right,
Yeah.
so I'm still trying to figure out this software, and I don't really have any music to play because literally nobody's posting anything on this group, um, except for like TikTok videos of them in their car, like doing a, a written freestyle, which doesn't make sense. Um, so let me post something in here real quick, and maybe that'll get some more people in. We'll do that. We'll go over here to the groups. So, what's been going new? Like, what's been happening that's new in your life? What is God telling you now that you've
So
released everything?
so now it's interesting because right now I joined the Army Reserves, and so I have to report once a month over to my unit over in Fort Worth. I'm
Oh
over in
wow!
like Tyler, Texas right now, so it's about a 2 hour commute. But so once a month I go down there. But the reason I say that is because I'm still looking for a full time job, and so right now I've I'm in a position to serve like I never really have before, and so over the past couple weeks I've done two different VBS deals, serving, with the kids and like making sure like, they're hearing Jesus. And that was just a cool experience. I mean, I don't know if nobody's ever done that before, like I highly encourage you because kids just like the way they're so pure and just getting the message and kind of, like the Bible talks about that, about having like the faith of a child. And it's just like,
Right,
it kind of points you back to like what matters because they don't have any worries in the world. I mean, other than
right.
just like sitting there and thinking about Jesus. And so it's just a really cool experience. And I was really glad to have done it. Like I did one here in my city over in Tyler, which is a much bigger church. So we had like over 1,000 kids, but I was just,
Oh my
looking after
goodness!
third graders. Yeah, it's like it's a huge church over here. And then I kind of did like a complete 180 and went to my dad's like 1A district over in West Texas and did like one with maybe 100 kids. And so I got like both ends of the spectrum. But it was so cool in both places. I got to act out as like the blind man in the miracle and got to do all kinds of stuff. And just the kids are so funny. They just like make it a really fun experience.
Right
Um,
on.
and so yeah, I've
Did
been
you get
able
to
to
perform
serve.
your song? Eh?
I didn't perform it, but I did perform. Uh, there was it's so funny. Um, they had this song that was like, "There's nothing wrong with a Christmas song in summer," and it's like some VBS song, but there's a rapping part in it, and so they all knew that I rapped, and so they came up to me and they were like, "Hey, look, like none of us can really say this because it's going way too fast. Can you say it for us?" And we're like, I was like, "Okay, I'll do it." And so like the first night I had not memorized it at all, and then they called me up there to do it, and I'm like over there just like stumbling all over these lines, and then on the last night I had finally done my research and looked up the lyrics and was good to go, and it was all family night, so all the families were there, so I was definitely glad that I got it right. Didn't the last thing I wanted to do was put the spotlight on me and then them not be able to focus on the kids who are up there singing. So, but
Right,
yeah, it was really cool. Really cool
right on.
experience. Yeah,
Well, do you want to analyze some songs with me?
yeah, I'd love to do that. I'm always down to
All
listen
right.
to more Christian hip hop. Yeah.
All right. Let's see if I can find one. Um, we'll go to the group first because I got to do
The
it off of my
dude,
phone now.
yeah. There's a dude I've been talking to a little bit, and his name is I think his name's Dyson or something like that. You've played him before.
Yeah,
Uh,
Dyson, the guy from Australia or New
yeah.
Zealand or something.
Uh-huh. Yeah, he's got a couple of good ones. At least that I've heard so far. Uh,
What about this one? I feel like uh let's see. Finish what we started is what it's called, and that's
that's the new
Dyson.
ones. Yeah, that's the new one he's been pushing, I believe.
Hmm. I used to mess up his name quite a bit.
I hope I'm saying it right. I don't even know. I think
There's
it's
a
right.
song called Can't Afford as well. Finish what we started. Okay. There it is. All right, let's listen to that one. Oh, yeah.
Started from the bottom, but we're still here. Working day and night, we keep it rolling like a wheelchair. Moving on to better things like the Prince of Bel-Air. Eyes on the prize, I'm not trying to be a millionaire. I do what I do when I do it, making moves, I'm the truest. I knew it, I could do it if I put my mind to it. No lame excuses, I've proven I can do it. Try to boost up the crew and just be the hugest influence. It was a struggle at first, but I knew it was worth it. I had to hustle and work. Coming through with a purpose, clowns trying to pull you down. They want to make you feel worthless, but I had to get out cause I knew it was a circus. To become a better person's what I'm trying to achieve. I stay on my grind full time, not trying to leave. Every day I will shine, that's right, try to succeed. That's why I inspire others to keep alive their dreams. Finish what we started, we're never gonna stop. To bring it to completion, we're working till we drop. We started from the bottom, but we're rising to the top. Finish what we started, we're never gonna stop. Finish what we started, we're never gonna stop. To bring it to completion, we're working till we drop. We started from the bottom, but we're rising to the top. Finish what we started, we're never gonna stop. I'm on the grind all season, time for sightseeing. Our phone on silent, creeping to the jobs like Steven. To make my future better, had to slide out the gutter like butter. Stakes was high like some diamond smugglers. Knocking out these beats like Tyson was punching you. I've stayed undefeated since the time I recovered, bruh. I did what I did when I did it, but I turned it around. My words are profound, I burn it down and then I bounced on a mission, got a vision and I'm seeing it all. My enemies, yeah, I'm seeing them fall. Never stop, never needing to pause, I'm keeping it raw. You try to stop me balling, you get kneed in the balls, Living my best life, just paving the way for sure. Just trying to get a slice of the cake and remain secure. Finish what we started, we're staying awake till dawn. Brilliance is the target, I'm great since the day I was born. Finish what we started, we're never gonna stop. To bring it to completion, we're working till we drop. We started from the bottom, but we're rising to the top. Finish what we started, we're never gonna stop. Finish what we started, we're never gonna stop. To bring it to completion, we're working till we drop. We started from the bottom, but we're rising to the top. Finish what we started, we're never gonna stop. It's a work in progress. Yeah. But we keep improving, that's it. We're never gonna stop. Yeah. Nice. Yeah.
Okay, so I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Being a representative for the younger generation, why do some producers make beats with 808s, the boom and stuff like that, like it's brand new?
That's a great question. I don't know. I feel like 808
Because it's not.
specifically. Yeah.
That's been around since the 70s, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
But
Yeah, and I
they're
mean,
using it like it's brand new.
yeah, it's really 808s has really taken off in like the I want to say like the last 10 or 15 years. Like it's kind of been like a slow acceleration because even back in early 2000s rap and hip hop, I didn't really hear 808s all that much, but it just kind
Hmm.
of like, I feel like now it's almost you can't listen to a hip hop song for the most part and it has 808s anywhere. I mean, mine has 808s too.
Right.
And it's just like, I don't know. I guess it's just one of those things that's just really, really popular in the community. I mean, I feel like it has to be the right song for 808s to do it justice. I mean, if 808s are just in there to have 808s, it doesn't really make sense, you know.
Yeah.
Because
It
not
has to
every beat is
complement the
cons-
music.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when in my song, like it almost like it's almost like when there's a pause, like you hear the 808s like do 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 do, you know what I mean? Like and so it kind of fills that space. But if you have too much going on, you got like the 808s and also like certain thing, you know, it's just kind of it becomes too much for the at least for an artist to process. Like I have to have everything to where I can hear it. And if it's not a clear, if that makes sense. Like if there's too much going on at one part of the song, then I just you kind of lose me a little bit because I'm trying to process everything. Um,
Right.
but not everybody thinks that way. Like a normal listener probably won't think that way, but if you're, if you're an artist like me, I'm listening to all that at the same time as far as production.
So, so when you think about that song, what's the first thing that you think about?
I feel like, in my opinion, the hook really elevates it. I think
Mhm.
it's definitely got a different feel in the rest of the song, and that's important because if he just would have went right into it with the same voice that he did in the verses, it would have kind of sounded really bland. But I felt like he elevated the hook, and it sounded well. Um, And yeah, there's one line in there that just makes me laugh. And I it's not one that I would ever use, but it was crafty. I mean, he has a way with words. He really does. Like he's very crafty and
There was a second guy in there. Did you notice that?
I did not.
Like that line that you're talking about was said by a different guy. That wasn't Dyson or
Oh
Deason.
wow. I didn't catch that first time.
Yeah, it was another dude just as thick of an accent as the first guy, but he had a little bit higher of a voice.
I
Uh,
wonder if I wonder if he punched it. Like if he punched it in there and did like a I mean, I don't know because sometimes when you do two different audio tracks and you punch it, it has like a different. If he was just
y-
aiming for that, I don't
right.
know.
It might have had a higher register to it, but it sounded like a
Yeah,
different guy.
yeah, it could have been.
Do you know who DC Talk is?
I do.
You do. Okay.
They used to have Toby Mac in there, right? In some of the Knicks
Yes.
clips. Yeah.
I was going to play one of the songs that is credited to them as one of the first Christian hip hop songs, but
Oh, nice.
if you already know who they are, I was trying to throw you off, but
No, I'm always down for some DC talk. I honestly don't
really?
know a ton of their music. I know more Toby Mac solo stuff than I know DC talk.
Oh,
I've heard
okay.
some of it, but I definitely, if you played a song, I may not even recognize it to be honest. Um,
Have you heard of LA Symphony?
it sounds familiar, but not off the top of my brain. I don't know who it is.
Here, listen to this song, and then I will be searching for another song uh, to play, and then hopefully I can find something. Because these groups, come on, man, I need stuff more than TikToks in cars. It's
Yeah,
hilarious.
I sent one over for some dude. I've been talking to him. I haven't actually heard this record though yet. I know he's Christian. But it's his latest record. His name's like BJ Sutter, I believe. I'm gonna talk to him a little bit, but he commented on my record and wanted to work with me and stuff. Uh,
DJ what?
but BJ Sutter. I sent
Like
you a
Sutter.
Sutter.
Sutter. Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, like I said, I haven't heard his latest record. I believe it's called Fine.
Well, if you can, send me the link, and I will play it.
It should be on Facebook, I believe. I'll put it in here. That way it'll be easy. Is that easier to do that or on Facebook?
Facebook would probably be easier because I can get that on my phone.
On your phone, yeah. Okay. It should be in there. I haven't, like I said, I haven't heard that latest single. I listened to some of his stuff, and he's got really good he's got good flow and stuff. So I'm sure it's well done.
Okay. Yeah, send that, and I'll play that next. This song is called Wonderful by LA Symphony. And is it playing? Sweet Jesus. Jesus.
The true story of a heart turned cold the road.
Wow, what just happened?
On the beach, man, I hope you understand my speech. I should say that I pray you understand the way that I can speak on the beat when I speak to you. It's the truth with a capital F. It sounds fresh.
So wonderful to be here with you.
While the rest of my niggas is OT making cheese with ease. And I'm posted at the house trying to go to straight.
That didn't start right, by the way. That was like halfway within the first verse, so my bad.
Which one was this? You said LA Symphony?
Yeah, this is LA Symphony. The song's called Wonder.
I'd rather deal with reality. Okay, maybe not. Let's become the oldest rap group on the block. Let's keep rapping again because this is all we got. John Lennon said it the best, yo. Let's see. But John Lennon said it when he was a millionaire, bro, and we having a low time. So I'd rather say it when I'm in broke. Hey, we see brothers selling weed and they coming up quick. Tempt them out in JB's to flip and just quit. I know we had some hard times. I'm seeing everybody blowing up and getting signed. And my look at beat twice, about to kill himself. We walk in swinging from a shelf. Baby, let's hold on for at least 3 months more. Don't let go. Let's become 38 and still thinking we great. Cookbook losing his hair, digging in crates. And we all dating white girls thinking they black. Look at what happened to us. We used to be so beautiful and bound to attack. Now we some old school. It does bound to us.
So wonderful. It feels so wonderful. It feels so wonderful. It feels so wonderful.
And it feels so wonderful to be here with you.
It feels so wonderful. It feels so wonderful. It feels so wonderful.
And it feels so wonderful.
I stroll the mall and see things I can't buy. Get in my little car to drive and just want to cry. A 10-year path match with beats, rhymes, and life. And 2 years back, signed and started line of lies. We did a show for BET the other day. A limo picked us up and took us back and on the way. My dinner was a limo snack pile of water and chips. We rolled the window down and yelled. Then LA Symphony went to NYC. Found out our label now has one employee. I'm not buying it, no I don't believe. This one VP from Nashville can't conceive. But hey, it's all gravy, yes it's all good. I now live downtown in a depressing neighborhood. My window got busted for 53 cents and some flip-flops.
I don't even care no more. These songs make me sad. When people get happy, it just makes me mad. A smile on your face like a knife in my chest. Unescapable pain, wish I would bleed to death. I'm in the van, routed from LA to Orlando. Man, we go where every other band go. And walk away with no money in the hand though. There's only so much a black man can handle. Who can I blame? Who can I call? Who was wide open and just dropped the ball? I put my chips on the table and I lost them all. Don't feel wonderful.
So wonderful.
I don't feel so great right now.
It feels so wonderful. It feels so wonderful.
Hey, it feels so wonderful.
It feels so wonderful. It feels so wonderful.
Down in my left foot,
So wonderful.
and it's so wonderful. What's the crack-a-lack? Hey, you know, I remember growing up, they said, follow your dreams. Follow your dreams. And if you follow your dreams, then you'll make it. Follow your dreams. I ain't making nothing right now. And you'll be a menace to pressing store unless your commercials sell out. And the A&R love your little song again. We're not stable. happy and balanced. Smile. Word. What's up, DeLong?
That's kind of a not very happy song.
No, no, not so much. What? So who is LA Symphony?
LA Symphony is kind of a super crew. It's made up of several individuals. Pigeon John was one of them. Cookbook, Uno Mas, B Twice. They're probably like 5 or 6. Joey the Jerk was part of it. It's kind of a collective of several different MCs. Similar to Tunnel Rats and Deep Space 5. They used to do it pretty big back in the 90s and the early 2000s. Trying to sign into my Apple, but it's not letting me. But I found the single that you were. What? Why is it? It's asking me for verification codes and all that stuff. This is so dumb. Doing this off of my phone is just frustrating.
Let me see if I can find it on YouTube or something.
If I didn't have to use my phone, I wouldn't.
Okay, it is on here. Let's see fast.
Oh, I missed a call and everything. Look at that. Of course, since it's an 800 number, I have no idea what it is.
It's probably just asking you if you want to extend your car's warranty. I get so many of those phone calls.
Your
So
AT&T computer phone bill thing. It's like, yeah, right, dude. Clear
I sent
all
you.
of that
I sent
stuff.
you the. I sent you the link on for a YouTube version of it that may play.
Oh, there it goes. All right, let's see. Let's see what it does. Is it playing? It is playing. But I'm not hearing it. How come?
Yeah. I'll be fine. Yeah. One would think that I learned my lesson when second guessing. I'm so imperfect when feeling surface.
Is that
let me
it?
Express it. To say I'm blessed
so.
is an understatement. No need addressing. I'm reassessing, still obsessing, spirit fleshing. So consumed by who I'm impressing, I lose the message and fail to witness when someone's listening. I need suggestions. Too many questions, so little time to make connections. God's word is a hard digestion, still I'm ingesting. Our conversations lead to confessions. It's been expected. The laundry list is collected. Just seems neglected, undeserving but still accepted. I feel selected, being called but unqualified, but still directed. I trade my heart for salvation. You've been invested. I wasn't ready, you still requested. Now I'm protected, mind, body, and soul. It's all affected. The Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. It's so infectious.
Keep my eyes fixed on you at all times. Lord, I know that I'll be alright. I'll be fine. Keep my eyes fixed on you at all times. Lord, I know that I'll be alright.
Yeah.
I'll be fine.
Yeah, to let go and let God deal, it's hard for real. I need control, won't bend or fold, I'm hard as steel. Although I know you'll truly show, I'm guarded steel. Uncharted waters, my feelings harbored, my heart was steel. Somehow, pardon, swear your promise will be fulfilled. Heart and soul, give full control, the armor's real. Standing firm, these hands will turn to serve and wheel. I will confirm from lessons learned, your work can heal. Broken souls, a broken road is traveled steel. Even rattled and scared of battle, I've sharpened skills. To die a martyr will truly honor my Father's will. Sanctified, I'll magnify a calmer feel. Raising newness, the old me is gone for real. Pray through as you truly moved, as your plans revealed. Any weapons formed against me could never kill. And what God has set in motion must be fulfilled for real.
My eyes fixed on you at all times. Lord, I know that I'll be alright. I'll be fine. Keep my eyes fixed on you at all times. Lord, I know that I'll be alright. I'll be fine.
All right.
All right.
I like
Yeah,
that.
look, I'll say about that record, there's a lot of rawness in that, because I feel like a lot of the times when we do records and stuff, we try to get everything perfect. I feel like in that one, especially on the singing, you can tell there wasn't really that many effects on the singing. It
Yeah.
was more like raw vocals, and that can be a benefit, and it can also not be. I feel like in that one, um, the dude can sing. Like, there's no doubt about that. He can definitely sing. But I feel like there was, on the production side, they could have made that a little bit smoother. I feel like on the hook for sure, of putting the layers together. Whenever you're talking about layering the vocals on the
Yeah.
hook.
Yeah,
Um,
there's a definite art to layering vocals. I could hear that in a coffee spot.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like I don't know,
yeah.
like more acoustic sounding drums.
Yeah. I'll be honest. Like, at the beginning, I felt like it didn't start as strong as it ended. I felt like as I
Oh,
listened
that
to
was
it
my
more.
fault.
No, not in that sense. I mean, like, it just felt like as I listened more to the song, I was enjoying it more. In the beginning, I felt like the raw vocals kind of hit me in the face. Uh, and anyway, yeah, like I wasn't expecting it. I don't think, and so
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think he had some really good stuff to say. His message was clear, and that's one thing that's really important to have, artists convey. I think that if it were to have been more produced, it might have lost some of its authenticity.
rawness. Mm, yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah,
it's a nice intimate song. I would call it an intimate song because he's talking about some real stuff,
yeah,
and I think that it's good work. I'm interested to see where he's going to go in the future as far as his next records and things like that. So I want to keep him on the
yeah.
radar for sure.
Yeah, he was one to, like I said, he was one to work on something. So we'll see. Um,
Yeah,
we'll
yeah,
see
you
what we
guys
can come
together
up
would be
with
pretty
and
dope,
see.
I'm sure.
Yeah, we'll see. And like I said, I feel like he's probably, based on what I'm hearing, at least, I feel like he probably mixes this stuff himself. Um, maybe, I don't
Yeah.
know that for sure. Um, but maybe we could help elevate it, because I'll be honest, I'm a stickler when it comes to like production stuff. Like, I could sit on a mix for like weeks and never have it right, and it would just irritate me. I don't know, like, I'm just in that way. It's just it's like a curse and a blessing, because like, I want it to be as good as it can be, but at the same time, I mean, and the worst part is my producer's the same way, or like, I should say, like, my engineer is the same way, because
Yeah.
he'll sit there and work on the same thing and be like, there's still this, and I'm the same exact way. So we'll, at that point, at that rate, we'll never release a record. And so at some point, somebody has to be like, all right, it's good enough.
Yeah.
All the little stuff, people aren't necessarily gonna notice.
One thing
And
that I
it's
always try and tell people that are starting out, that people enjoy the process. Like, your audience is going to enjoy, oh, this record was so not what it is now. You know what I mean? This is
yeah,
this is him from way back, and look how much he's grown, and he
That's true.
does all this new stuff now, and this is great. Like it's available still. Like that's working with Grapetree. I can see how their past legacy library catalog like had some things to be desired. I'll put it that way, because they were brand new. Like the only thing that was a prerequisite to be on that label was you had to be about the gospel and you had to have like a way to record, you know. And so uh lots of those new or those old projects have some really you could tell that the engineer was learning their stuff, if you know what I
Yeah.
mean. And to see that type of a journey to where like they are now, like Lil Rascal just released a new album called Don Roby album, and like the production value is way beyond his first record.
Yeah.
And just to have that available is a benefit to an artist. And lots of people have, what is it, paralysis through procrastination or something like that.
Mhm.
And they just feel like they can't release something if it's not perfect. And I'm like, you guys are waiting 10 years to release anything. It's just do something,
Well,
you
and at
know,
that point, it may have missed its time too, because like that
right?
record is probably, if you were trying to record it in a certain time and era, it's probably not going to fit in the same way as it would have if you released it back then. But I think with artists specifically, is like, it's like I don't know. I guess like a Miley Cyrus or something to that effect. Like if you look at her journey, right? Like, and I know she's not Christian, but people look at the Hannah Montana days of her. There's still people who are singing Hannah Montana songs, and I'm sure she's over there cringing at the Hannah Montana songs. But the thing is that those songs resonate with people in a time of their life, and so they're not
Yeah.
going to let go of that. And even though, like artists, we may cringe at songs that we recorded like 10 or 15 years ago and be like, man, I've really grown.
Mm,
But still, that, especially with Christian music, that's going to resonate with somebody,
yeah.
um, because that's a point in their life they probably heard that song, and then it's gonna flip the switch for them as to what they were doing in that point in time. And so
Yeah.
we kind of have to take the selfishness away from us of wanting to always be perfect, I guess, because you'll never be perfect.
Sure.
um, but yeah, so
Yeah. No, I totally agree. And that's why I want to be a part of the Christian hip hop promotion part of it. That's why I call it promo parties, because the the way it was explained to me was that Christian hip hop is like a subgenre of a subgenre, because there's music, right? And then there's Christian music, and then there's Christian hip hop,
yeah,
which is like less than 1% of 1% of sales and stuff like that. So being able to make money from this is a pipe dream at this point. Like even like Lecrae probably isn't making that much money from it.
yeah,
But like unless it's a passion, like you were saying before, to spread the gospel to people who wouldn't listen to it in any other format, um, like that has to be your motivation. And when something like that is your motivation, like the perfectionism and stuff like that sometimes needs to take a back
take a
seat
back
as
seat.
well. Yeah,
Yeah, 100%.
because put something out and reaching somebody that may not have access to it um, until you put it out, like they may be waiting for what you're about to say to them and may not be able to turn a corner in their life because they haven't heard it yet.
Yeah, God may be setting them up to hear that song. And I think
Right.
that, like production wise, people, especially like whenever we're trying to release songs and stuff, like it's sometimes like it just, we get so caught up in feeling like we have to maximize our talents and also like make sure that nobody sees our flaws, but in reality, like it's okay. Like just like we heard in that last record, it's okay to have things that aren't perfect in a record, because you know that guy was singing his soul out. You could hear it.
Mm-hmm.
And so it doesn't always have to be exactly perfect for people to still get the message. And I think that that's not to say that we go and release like, you know, records that sound like, you know, absolute, like, you know, just, I don't know,
Trash.
like a voice memo that, you know, you recorded somewhere. I mean, it's not saying like that, but in terms of the small critiques, like it's people are, you sometimes we don't even realize our talents and what God's given us. And people can see that in us when sometimes we can't see it in ourselves. And so like, even just us doing like what we feel is pretty good is still gonna like blow people away, I guess, in the sense of like how it hits them in terms of a song. So I forget that sometimes. Like, I mean, like, and I know that my music can always use work, but I know that people have been impacted by it in some way. And so I try to take that selfish factor out of always being so hard-nosed and critical. And I think I took that from doing music in the past, because we want it to sound great, but at the same time, we have to also realize what the true message is. And you just said it. So
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thanks for coming on with us, man. It is probably about 54 minutes into the thing, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it off and start spreading the replay around.
All right.
But first, let's play your song again.
All right, let's do it.
I keep forgetting that I'm on my phone. And it slows things way down.
I did want to tell you, like, thank you for the support of it too. You've really been pushing it, and it's very kind of you. Because,
no problem,
like I said,
man.
more times people hear it, the more chances we have people slash it.
Cool. Well, thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah. Thank you.
Peace.
They made me patient. All I can say is thank you. I really wouldn't be the same if I ain't gone through all the pain. Look what it made me. All I can say is thank you.
Count them up, just count them up. All the times that I shoved them off, saying I can do it, I'll pull through it. I don't want to talk, staying faithful, I don't need to walk. What's the point? Who's the rock? I'll come to him when I need something or when I hit rock bottom, y'all. It was all wrong. Had to take a pause, cause how could he stick by me when I was lost through all my faults? He didn't stop, he cared for me. Back when it was all bad for me. Back when I was still alive, but a casualty. I gotta be honest, I don't deserve him at all. But his grace and mercy, they saved me like they saved Paul. He's my everything, I depend on him when I trip and fall. Thank God he chose me, all I can say is all. Man.
For the days when I was down and losing faith, they made me patient. All I can say is thank you. I really wouldn't be the same if I ain't gone through all the pain. Look what it made me. All I can say is thank you.
Yeah, who's in control? Is it you or the Lord? Is he guiding your steps? Do you know what's important? Yeah, have you been praying? Or ignoring? It's not too late to change the page and do what's right and live for it. Your soul's on the line, just give it up to Christ. What he did on the cross does more than just provide, does more than just suffice. Without the sacrifice, we had no eternal life, and only death was in our sights. Look, we can't save ourselves, we always needed him. But that's just a lie that we tend to buy and then wonder why we sin. Just come back to God, have faith in his plan. When it's all said and done, we're saying thank you to him.
I count my blessings for the days when I was down and losing faith. They made me patient.